Welcome to Virtual Mimics and Gimmicks, where a bunch of idiots pretend to know what they're doing and in the process torment me with their vicious mockery. I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master and player punching bag, Anastasia. Playing Troy, our half-wood elf ranger with a taste for bear blood, is Sean. As Magnus, our dark and brooding tiefling rogue, is Clint. We've got Ryan playing Biren, our furball cleric who prefers liquid courage, and Tatiana playing as Poofers, our wily tabaxi barbarian. Joining us later, we have Amanda playing Aravir, our sexy high elf sorcerer with hair and heart of gold. We're going to jump straight into the recap. We stopped on a very, what I consider tense moment, so let's get going. Alright, last time on Dungeons & Dragons Ball Z, the party was able to pin down the next world-saving artifact to be somewhere within the lizard-folk city of Oshri, deep within the Arsenfeld Desert. While the city is normally hostile to outsiders, the Pharaoh welcomed the heroes and asked them to help him root out the leaders of a supposed insurrection. Our heroes did exactly that, but in the end decided to betray the Pharaoh and proclaim the insurrection leader Reshi as the rightful Pharaoh, which they justified by pointing out that Reshi possessed magical abilities, which is the hallmark of the divine right to rule. An epic battle ensued and our heroes prevailed. They departed the city with the Pharaoh's scepter in their possession. While on their way home, their journey was interrupted by an explosive red light on the horizon as well as the expansion of the cataclysmic tear in the sky. Immediately thereafter, they were found by Avi, an archdemon who has a mysterious motive regarding the artifacts. She invited them back to Oshri to join in battle over the artifact, which the party thought they already had. When they arrived, Oshri had already been destroyed by a frenzied Reshi possessed by the artifact. Our heroes engaged in battle against the earthbending Reshi while Avi took care of the giant purple worms assaulting the city. Having won the battle, our heroes must now decide whether to allow Avi to take the artifact or whether to return it back to the Wardens. Avi insists she has good intentions, but they didn't know whether to trust her, and now have to decide whether to do so. Let's find out if they do, now on Dungeons & Dragons Ball Z.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's go ahead and put our proper music on. So as I was saying, you guys are basically, right now, Avi's standing there. Basically, she has, as a gesture of good faith, allowed you to decide whether to give her the artifact, or take it back to the Wardens. And you guys were currently debating about whether to do that.
And if I remember correctly, we were huddled up, right? Determining
You are huddled up. One of you has mysteriously gone silent, lost in deep thought, considering the ramifications of all of this. And that would be Erica. She's very thoughtful right now, pensive. Cleo is also there, but she is basically standing on the other side of the arena as Avi is, just kind of like glaring at her and watching her and letting you guys talk about whatever the hell you're talking about.
I want to note that Troy's also sitting there, very, very thinky and pensive, or whatever it was you said Aravir was.
In deep thought.
It's not that deep.
All right, guys.
Anybody smell burnt toast?
It's just the smoke coming out of my ears.
I think we may want to use our question to MB's god.
All right.
What do you guys think?
Just for some context, in case anyone doesn't remember, including our wonderful audience, the party was rewarded with a question to an eldritch lord of knowledge known as the Chronicler after performing a quest for him in their Underdark journeys. The patron, or one of the patrons of the Chronicler, is Ambrose, who is the Warden's sort of like recorder of events. And they are able to ask his patron a question about something in the world. Anything, really. Continue.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's question time.
I mean, at least it'll shed some light on, what we actually really want to do with all of this.
Yeah, this seems like a critical crossroad if I've ever seen one.
Barry?
I think it's time to use the question.
Kind of look at Aravir and see that she's not very quiet.
She does that one nod from Gravity Falls, and it's Dipper, and it's like, I am pretending to write something down.
Okay. I word and call MB, come in, MB.
Okay. You bring up Ambrose on the Warden comm. Ambrose reporting, please present your query.
MB, we have the query.
Okay. You speak that and await a response, but that moment of patient anticipation seems to drag on. And it's during this long, long moment that you all take a moment to turn your attention, which has been so intensely focused on this problem at hand, outward. When did the crackle of the flames of Oshri quiet to nothing? When did the sky become so gray? No, when did the color drain so completely from all around you? When did the footsteps you place as you turn to look cease to echo? When did the dance of the flames, the sting of the desert wind, halt in their tracks? You turn and see Avi, arms crossed, unblinking, continuing to stare at you, but even she, in all of her stoic poise, is unnaturally still. In fact, the world, except for you five, seems still. You're torn from the sobering weight of your frozen surroundings by your sudden recognition of an object lying in the sand between your group and Avi.
What is the
I-
object?
Go up to look at the object.
As you grow closer, you realize it's a book, expertly and exquisitely bound in flawless black leather and silver, about the size of an encyclopedia. There is no title. Next to the book, in a small glass case, is a quill and a jar of ink black as void.
Something tells me we're writing our question. Anybody a bit more literate than I
Yeah, who's
want to
got
give
the
this a
best
crack?
handwriting?
I can make a map, but this is beyond me.
I think she is probably sitting stoically, not talking right now. Who has the best handwriting? So
Do we shift her?
I pull
Do we
my-
shift her over and then start just kind of scribbling?
I can do it.
I pull my napkin out and pick up the quill and book and hand it to Poofers.
Okay, guys. What do you and before I write? I'm like, what do you guys think about what is or are the differences in between Avi and Dante's plans to stop the ruin? What do you guys think about that?
what are the differences between Avi and Dante's plan to stop the ruin?
Yes, because we name who's doing the plan, we name what the plan is about, and I'm hoping that he's going to be generous enough not to nitpick too much.
Right. I just hope it's not going to be just the straight differences and nothing else. You know, but at least we would know something. For sure.
Yeah, because we can't. I think this is a good way to get as much information out of a single question as we can. Because if we asked about both their plans in entirety, we'd probably only get one.
Right.
Not only that, but we also at least find out how Avi's plans differs from what we perceive as the good guys, which is us, the Wardens. So
Well-
if there's a great varying between the two, that should help us figure out if we can trust Avi.
Right, and hopefully through learning the differences, maybe we get a glimpse into the actual plans themselves.
Okay, and I dip the ink, or the quill into the ink, and I write in my best handwriting the question, and I sign it with a little paw print.
So you open the book, seeing that the first page is the only one with any text, and it just reads, "Present your query." And you very carefully write your question within. A few moments pass in this total quiet stillness where the entire world except for you is frozen in time. And after a bit, you watch as words appear slowly beneath your question as if they are being written before your eyes. Now I will put this in our chat so you can refer to it after I finish reading it. What are the differences between Avi and Dante's plans to stop the ruin? One is led by soul and heart. One keeps want and need apart. One seeks to return what was taken, so the old ones may sleep and never awaken. To see their souls restored and purified is a method theorized but never tried. 'Tis a noble quest with potential, but failure means a loss essential. From those souls the artifacts were designed. To restore them, the items must be resigned. Success means freedom from ruin now and forever. Failure means ruin with no way to fight whatsoever. The other seeks to follow history's guide, to trust what is tested and thoroughly tried. uniting the artifacts which the hero equips and uses to halt the apocalypse. He must strike quick, sure, and strong as stone before the artifacts make him their own. Success means the end to this ruin at the cost of a fraction of souls that will be forcefully lost. Still, many will be saved in the artifacts too, which will be needed when the next one awakens anew. Both require the artifacts 9, and both believe there's the correct design. The sister is led by soul and heart. The brother keeps want and need apart.
That was a lot.
First of all,
Wow.
that was
well
that
done.
was awesome.
There you go. It's in, oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong channel. Oh my god, everyone's gonna judge me.
I thought you meant that was the wrong answer. That was the wrong one. No, never mind.
That was a totally different one. Well, I don't know if our eldritch power that just gave us an excellent poem was being metaphorical or not, but he definitely said brother and sister.
After you finish reading that, you're left with a page in his answer, but time picks up again, and it's like all of a sudden everything has resumed.
So
And you just have
guys,
this page of writing.
okay, what I'm getting out of this, and I look at Avi, I'm like, 1 minute. I'm like, what I'm
He
getting
like
out of
watches
this.
how you guys have teleported over and is like, what?
It sounds like Avi wants to stop the ruins from coming forever, but if she fails, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like Dante just wants to put it off until next time.
But if, on that other side though, if Dante fails, he still fails. Right? Like, the rune still happens.
Well, but it did mention the other one was tried and true or something like that.
Right.
So-
Like, I think that probably means that, obviously, there's been runes before, that hence why we're wardens and how we've stopped them previously that way. Right? But that's just because the warrior didn't fail. Right? The warrior, assuming being Dante. So if Dante fails, he fails.
It also sounds like Dante's going to use the artifact and equip them on a hero, whoever that is.
Right. I mean,
Wait, didn't Virgil stop the last one?
I think
So
Yeah, I think
Virgil
so.
must have used the artifacts to stop the last one, but it didn't stop this one from coming.
Right. So basically, Avi's sounds like riskier, and there's somewhat of an unknown to if it's going to work or not, but has the potential to stop
Well,
it for good.
It sounds like
Whereas-
Avi wants to give the artifacts to where they came from. Looking at this.
Right.
Both
Well,
of
the
those
world.
are correct. It is high risk, high reward, but essentially,
Right.
Avi's plan costs the artifacts. So if it fails,
But there's also, if we stop the rune for good, does the world really need the artifacts? Are they? Is that like, absolute power corrupts absolutely type thing? And
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
it be
mean-
better to get rid of it even like once you don't need it?
when we stopped the rune previously, and by we being the wardens, when we stopped the rune previously, do we know why we weren't able to maintain the artifacts after that?
you don't know why.
So we've
Maybe
stopped
they're
it
like
before,
Dragon Balls and they just scatter.
right? And so like the hunt continues, kind of thing, right? But I mean,
One line
So-
I want to draw attention to really quick is in the second longer verse. Success means the end to this ruin at the cost of a fraction of souls that will be forcefully lost.
Is that referring to the first?
That's
is gonna take-
Dante's plan.
Right, but
People
that
go and
means-
die.
well, that means we just have to. I assume that means we just have to continue to battle, right? Like we're gonna have to keep fighting all the evil and monsters coming through, so we're gonna lose a lot of souls for this
Right.
for this
The
epic
implication
Lord
is
of the Ring
that
battle.
the implication is that this method literally requires souls.
Sacrifices.
Right. But the fourth line in the first one is a method theorized but never tried. So that's the high risk part right there, I think.
Basically, our options are staying the course, and eventually we'll run into this issue again, or we go all in and do the trench run and try and end it for good.
The problem is that the tried and true method seems like it requires a lot of people to die anyway.
Does seem that way. Damn. I thought this was going to be easier.
We already know a lot of people already died. I mean, just look at this town that we just fought.
You thought this was going to be easier? What game have you been playing? This is almost exactly what I was expecting. Yes, this is beautiful. By the way, this is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's a good quandary.
It's stressful. I hate it.
I love it.
I say, freaking YOLO this thing.
Yeah, I'm
just
more
gonna
in
yeet
line
it into the rune.
just swan dive.
But if we got to lose, I'll just roll a new character.
You're gonna just
Let's just swan dive into this thing.
see if you can spiral this right into that crack in the sky here.
But my point is though, like, all jokes aside, if we do it and we fail, the world's over, right? The other side, we fight and we fail, the world's over. Right? We fight, we succeed on one, this never happens again. We fight, we succeed on the other one, it's gonna happen again eventually.
I do agree with that.
Either way, the world ends if we lose on either one. But if we win on one, it never happens again. We win on another, it's gonna happen again.
The world ends more drastically with one than the other. With Dante's plan, people are sacrificed, but a lot still survive. If you fail Avi's plan, everyone's dead.
Right, but what if we fail Dante's plan?
And the rune continues, everybody's gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
But Dante's plan has been shown to work is the thing. So it's kind of like,
it can succeed versus
do we want
where...
do we want to be those people that say, well, this is going to sacrifice a lot of people, but it's going to save however many generations there are until the next ruin? Or do we want to say, well, we can save everybody, or maybe everybody dies forever?
Something that we may want to do is ask Avi, now that we know this information, maybe we should.
I don't think she can talk about it.
But we haven't tried. So we could try.
We have tried.
So we know that it's tried and true. That statement means they successfully stopped it because of the epic battle that they did to stop the rune. Right? Just because it's tried and true, it can work. We're confirmed 100% it can work. But there's still that gray area of us still failing.
Are you guys willing to take that gamble though? Because also that if Dante does it, that doesn't depend strictly on us. He's going to elect a champion, and it depends on that guy who could be totally qualified for the job. But it sounds like with Avi's plan, we just don't know.
Yeah, Avi's there's no guarantee it'll work either. You also have to consider that there are 3 artifacts in the possession of the Wardens right now.
Right. Well, the good news is that we learned that Avi doesn't necessarily sound like she's evil. It sounds like she's just trying to stop this from happening altogether.
Neither does Dante, though.
The good news is also we know that Dante isn't evil. Well, he wants to sacrifice souls to put a band-aid on a very large situation, but
greater good.
Greater good.
As a side note, and this doesn't even matter, I guess, if it fails, but I like in Avi's plan that these are gone afterwards if it works. I think that having these in existence is not necessarily a good thing.
But ask yourself, none of us here are parents, at least I don't think. I kind of look at Magnet. but if you're a parent, I know that my papa would want to sacrifice his life so that I could live. And if people are willing to, you know, die so that their children and their children's children can live on, don't you think we'd be robbing them of that opportunity if we end up killing everybody forever and the world dies?
I mean, maybe, but that's both of those are on the assumption that, one, we get to choose the souls, and beyond that is a fraction of the entire population could still be a lot of souls, right? So
have any of us read up on this that would know any accounts of massive amounts of people dying right before the ruin was stopped?
So the records, let me pull up my encyclopedia so I quote it directly. But the records from around that time are a little bit foggy. Where did I put this? Recaps? Yeah. And I believe that it says Virgil was able to halt the second ruin early by wielding 8 archaic artifacts against the awakened primal. In defeating it, he lost his own life, but he did succeed in saving many more. It's a good question because I didn't actually write in here. In total, it's estimated that about 70% of the world had died in the second ruin, but it's impossible to know because he had fought
70%?
Let me finish.
that's a fraction.
That's a fraction.
Let me finish. He had halted the second ruin while it was in progress. And you don't know how far it had progressed. You don't know how many people had died already to the ruin before he stepped in. So it is 70% or less. Probably, very likely, less.
I mean,
Noted.
Honestly, Poofers, at what point? So I'm very much to stop this indefinitely, even if it's a risk. Because at what point do you say, okay, 50% of the world gone? That's okay. Yeah, like
But I mean,
at
we're
what
also
level?
killing the gods if we fail. I mean, everything is going to be gone.
Poofers, I think no matter what happens, if we failed, everything's gone.
Right.
Yeah, but that's the thing is Dante already has his plan. It's not up to us. You know, it's not if we fail, it's if we as a civilization fail. But Avi's plan, we're probably going to be the only people helping her, and that's really on us.
That and one has a higher guaranteed higher chance of success. One has been done before. One is completely uncertain.
Well, and you guys, we don't have to make this decision right this second. She's allowing us to take it with us, which is a giant grace.
Yeah. I'm leaning toward we take it with us to the Wardens and tell Avi that, you know, we're not opposed to helping her. We just aren't sure yet.
Unzip your mouth and give us a call.
Well, here's another thought. Could we go with Dante's plan to stop this ruin and then relinquish the artifacts to...
That's what I'm saying. She's going to have to go to the Wardens to get those
No,
artifacts at some
no.
point anyway.
So help Dante see his plan through to stop the ruin, and then afterwards, if she has those, maybe she can still put them to rest when there's not an impending ruin. Get rid of the artifacts. And...
One thing I will say is if you follow Dante's plan, you're not sure you're going to have the artifacts afterwards.
Because they scatter somehow.
They Dragon Ball Z up in the air and disappear or something like that. But that's not a bad thought. But
that does give us time to refine them again prior to the next ruin. But
I mean, that is a good point. If we don't have a timer that allows for us to...
I mean,
well, we never
we
know.
We have our lives timer. We're
There's
gonna
also-
be very dead by the
there's also
time
the
the next
fact-
following ruin.
That Wardens were not able to start finding artifacts until a new ruin had been hinted at.
Okay,
So the
fair
ruin
point.
is the impetus to them starting to make their presence known.
Good work.
Yeah, Troy didn't say that. I'm meta.
So what do you guys think about taking the artifact with us, but keeping a line to Avi open?
I mean, if her plan starts to reveal itself more and becomes more viable, wouldn't we want to potentially present this to someone that we trust with the Wardens? If this plan seems actually viable, wouldn't we want to approach people that we trust to see if they can help us, or if we could actually, barter some kind of agreement between the two groups? Also, once again, I just want to point out, it says in the lines, brother and sister. I just want to keep pointing that out.
Noted.
Yeah. So I kind of think that having an open line with Avi, so we kind of got that answer, Viren, in a way. Like, if it becomes viable, we just had a godly response to this that basically told us the odds. I don't know that we're going to get a better answer to what the success likelihood is of Avi's plan here.
One of the
right,
things,
like we just got the best answer we could have.
right, and I agree with Troy. But one of the things I want to make sure we're all aware of is, one, if we keep this rune with this artifact with us, it attracts badness, right? So we can get ambushed anytime. We can, it just has evil with it. So one, we're gonna have to be significantly more cautious if we carry it, because now if we lose it, that's gonna just add a whole nother circle to this whole thing, having to go reacquire it again, right? And then beyond that fact, but the positive is, if we keep it, nothing says that we have to give it right back to the Wardens right when we get back there, right? But again, not doing that means we are going to continue to attract bad things.
If we give it to the Warden, this is what I've been trying to say. We can give it to the Wardens, and then if we change our mind, we can just help Avi retrieve that, plus the other 3 artifacts that they already have that she's going to have to retrieve somehow anyway at that time.
Right, which is why she's okay with us taking it, by the way.
Right,
because she already has to get the other ones.
But it's not just like we're gonna walk.
She already knows the ultimate goal is to storm the castle.
Yeah, she's gonna drop by the 7-Eleven and pick up a couple artifacts.
She's like, you guys just hold this for me for a minute.
I mean, you're right. I mean, she's gonna have to go get the other ones. I very much understand that. But I really think, if being a warden, the more artifacts that I would have in my possession, I would probably increase the amount of defenses with it and the amount of protection to make it. Yes, I get that she's
that
a badass chick, but
I think all of the Warden's defenses are probably already going to the artifacts, seeing as it's kind of the most important thing going on.
Right, but now we don't have to send out 30 search teams. Now we only send out 20 search teams, and the other 10 are going to be on the artifact, right? Like, I mean, that's what I would do.
I guess the other thought is, can they use the artifacts against Avi to protect the artifacts?
Right now, the artifacts are mainly under the protection of Dante. They certainly have security set up, but he's the only one who can handle the sort of like allure that they put out.
Well, I guess what I mean is, we've seen what Avi can do clearly in this last fight. So we keep talking about eventually she's gonna have to go take the artifacts, but can Dante or the Wardens use those artifacts to fight back against her, to make it harder for her to claim those artifacts?
Like, we couldn't, when we,
or because they're gonna be used for the runes. Somebody's gonna use them to stop the runes, right? But prior to that, could they be used to, say, stop somebody as powerful as like Avi? So the more they have, the higher chance they have of stopping her.
Right. Like, when we equipped them on our weapons to, like, maintain them, and it didn't give you extra crazy power or anything like that. But you're right, somebody's gonna have to be able to equip it or do something. So maybe somebody that knows much more than us might be able to do that.
I don't feel like I have enough information right now to give Avi this artifact. I don't think that I'm willing to gamble on something that I have no information about beyond it might work or everybody might die. And that's just not a gamble that I feel like I have the authority to make at this point.
I'd have to agree with
think
Poopers
it's
on this
not
one.
a good idea, like, to the point of, yeah, great, it works this time. Hopefully it works next time.
I mean, I get
Hopefully
that,
it works
but
again.
at least people get to keep on living.
Of fear of the next rune?
What happens every
Thousands
few
of
thousand?
years.
Yeah.
People forget about it. I mean, you're talking about generations that never have to deal with this versus no generations ever again. And I can't. I mean, I'm open to it when we know more, but right now I can't.
I'd have to agree with Poopers. I think I like the idea of ending this for good, but I feel like we need more information before we commit to a plan versus at least we know what the Band-Aid is. How do we sew up the open wound? But
Kinda-
I'd like instructions before we
So,
commit to it.
two last thoughts real quick before I think I agree we should take it if she's giving us the grace of taking it back to the Wardens. One, that's who we've currently sworn our allegiance to and how we are going about being equipped and ready and directed to gather these artifacts. So if something happens with that relationship, we're SOL or committed to Avi 100% or something like that. And two, it just buys us time. If we change our minds and something comes up where we realize Avi's right, then we jump ship and now we have knowledge and access and, can help at that point. Because she needs the other artifacts no matter what. She can't do it with just one. So at some point there will be a crossroad where she's going to attempt to take them and we're either defending him or we're helping her take them. But right now this buys us the time.
One more thing I want to point out. I know that we're like almost done wrapping up the conversation here. I did say when I said 70% with Plan Dante, Virgil was able to halt the second ruin early by wielding 8 artifacts.
How many are there total?
9. How
So she
dare
doesn't
you.
need them all.
How dare you? Right.
No, that wasn't
he
the
doesn't need 'em
implication.
all.
Because the chronicler said both needed 9, but I'm saying like perhaps some of that number was because there were fewer than 9.
Only 8. So you think more deaths because he didn't have all of them.
I think we need to know more. There's somebody I want to talk to about this too. And I'm Magnus, I want you to know I'm not opposed to stopping this forever. I ideally want to stop this forever. I just don't know how likely it is that we're going to be successful at that.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter my opinion because I'm outvoted, so I guess we keep them. Just, I get really sick and tired of saying I told you so.
Alright, you guys gonna go tell Avi what's up? She's waiting for you.
Okay. Avi, I think we're going to take the artifact. I'm curious, and I have a feeling that you may not be able to answer this question, but you are trying to stop the ruin, right?
She can't, like, she seems like she wants to answer you, but she, like, looks at you very intently, and that's all she can do.
That's what I thought. Is there a way that we can stay in contact with you?
I can't say I'm enthusiastic about your decision, but it seems you've at least an inkling of trust for me. For that, I will give you 2 things. First, she walks over to the artifact on the ground, which are a pair of, like, boot ankle guard kind of things, and she says, "These are the venomous roots. They give dominion over Earth. Without my touch, they would drive one or all of you mad in your journey back. I'm able to silence it for a couple weeks at most, and that doesn't mean silence and equip it. It means they won't drive you crazy by proximity. Do you understand?"
Well, that's a neat trick. I wish I had that.
Do not put them on.
Is that like a
Noted.
hard no?
That is a put them on and I will personally come execute you.
I mean, a simple yes would have been fine. But anyway.
Second, she takes out a what looks like a sort of rusted, dirty gray coin with the sort of like sigil of a skull on it, and hands it to. We'll give it to Bjorn because you've been talking.
The responsible one.
Yeah. I
As he
have
drinks.
to return to the Hells, not by my own volition, but by necessity. That's all I can say about that. With this coin, you can do two things. One, you may open a portal to speak with me. This is not a discreet communication, and it cannot be used often. Two, if you place this coin on a supposed artifact for 5 minutes or more, if it is an artifact, the coin will glow.
Yeah, what? Say that last part?
If it's an artifact, the coin will glow.
But it has
Okay.
to be in direct contact for 5 or more minutes.
That is
Hey, Avi.
incredibly helpful.
One question. How did you know to look for an artifact here?
The artifacts are themselves infernal in construction. It was my ancestors who had forged them from the souls of the primals. We'll just call it a sort of spidey sense.
An infernal. So, if assuming you're going back to the Hells, then you're going to want to find the other ones. I mean, we can definitely assist you. Where do you have any suggestion where we look next?
My best guess right now is there is one far to the south. The others I'm not sure yet. I'd have to investigate more, but with every minute, my connection to this plane is growing weaker and I'm being forced back.
For what it's
Good
worth,
question.
Avi, we do believe that you want to stop this ruin.
I appreciate that, Poofers, and I hope that you'll change your mind and do what's right. If, of course, if everyone has decided to side with Dante, I won't stop you. But I will, in the meantime, keep working towards my own plan.
I'm just gonna need to know a little more, and clearly you can't tell us a whole lot.
And in all honesty, I hope that our plans eventually align.
She sort of like flickers in and out of existence for a moment and says, well, time to go then. And a tear in air opens up behind her and she steps through and is gone.
Was that coin a one-time use talk to her, or kind of like an anytime use?
It isn't any time, but there's sort of a cooldown on it. You can't call her 3 times a day. You can call her like maybe once.
So I can't bother her. That's what you're saying.
I'll just tell you that her giving you that coin is a workaround to the restrictions imposed upon her. So,
Does that you mean as in we can talk with her without Dante zipping her shut?
yeah. She still has restrictions on her physical, like she can't speak or act out certain things. And she's being forced back to the Hells by the same spell, but the coin is sort of a way of her maintaining a relationship with you without Dante knowing.
So his spell is what's forcing her back too, not just silencing her?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Well,
Okay.
couple things. One, apparently we need to go south, and two, I mean, we're all kind of on the same page then that if we're going to carry this thing around, the sooner the better that we can give it to somebody else, right? So you guys want to head back to town, get rid of this death whistle, and kind of recoup for a minute? and then head south and find the other ones.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
I've laid my nice upgraded napkin out and placed the root boots in the middle
You're
and
gonna have to
creating
like
a little.
pick them up.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
The
I
root
get
boots?
I
Yes,
get-
the root boots.
You're welcome. I take another small napkin out of my pocket. I'm gonna create like a little knapsack for this thing that we can like hang off of like something as we tow it back. Just so none of us actually have to handle the thing.
Okay.
Nice.
Just FYI, guys, it's a far travel back, but I think this is one of those times where we need to kind of huff it. And
I can huff
yeah,
it,
get there.
and I run around in a circle. Huff, huff, huff.
Okay, so they still have a city on fire around you.
Yeah, we've done our best
We,
here.
we walk away without looking back like heroes do.
Oh no.
Actually, so can we just spend one day looking for survivors and trying to help?
You recall that on your way out, the survivors had basically fled the city but couldn't go far because this is the only area with water. So,
It's time for Biren to cast a whole lot of fish and water.
okay, that's actually an excellent idea.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast that
Can
a
you
lot.
make it rain? Is the city still burning? Did you say?
I'm making rain.
The city is still burning, yeah. But the worms have left and the earthquake stopped.
You know,
So
small
that's
victories.
a positive.
Yeah.
I say we fix their city as best we can and then book it out of here before we have to shamefully admit that we destroyed their civilization.
Well, yeah, but also what's done is done, and that room's still very menacing in the sky.
It's still
So I
calling.
do feel a little bit of a rush, but I agree with giving them Biren's food and water as we leave. And each person we give, can we say Happy Biren's Day?
That's tacky. Come on.
I'm gonna cast all 3 of my 3rd level spell slots to cast. Let's see here. That's it's 45 times 3. 135 pounds of food and 90 gallons of water.
So even as the civilians who have fled, the survivors, are horribly angry at you. Everyone knows who you are by this point, and you have been associated with the destruction of literally everything.
Yeah, I can believe it.
They are not they're not going to attack you, but they do hate you.
Yeah.
Let's leave.
That said,
we should go.
they're thankful for the resources, but they're also like, this is all you're giving us after that kind of deal. So they'll take it, but they feel like they're owed more, and they're also very upset because their religion and culture and city and history are all gone, as well as most of the people.
Hey, here's to fresh starts. Let's go, guys.
Yeah, you
We
guys
gotta get
awkwardly,
Welcome.
awkwardly bail out of there.
I hope that they find that golden statue so that they can at least buy some stuff, try and rebuild.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Damn,
Anyways,
Biren feels really bad.
good. You should feel really bad. Anyways, I'm not going to put you through 3 sessions of combat, so it's a somber journey back to Redcliffe. It's a couple of weeks in the desert.
Real quick, during our rest times, when we're down, I really want to keep trying to open the unopenable box. Just saying.
It's like your fidget cube. You just constantly fidgeting
Exactly.
with it.
Except it zaps you whenever you get it wrong.
Right. But I thought about this. And here's my idea. We move this cube far away. Well, relatively far away. Actually, 30 feet away. And I use my mage hand to try to lockpick this thing.
I always forget you have this box, to be honest. Did I tell you there was something in it, or did I
Yeah.
not? Okay,
You
you
said-
shook it.
We shook it, and we heard there's something in it. but we have no idea what it is
Okay.
because like the DC is insane to open it.
Yeah. Okay.
But possible.
You can roll lock picking with your mage hand from far away, I assume. My Google Docs is flickering, and it's gonna give me a seizure. Let me tell you.
Just sleight of hand.
Yeah. That's not high enough.
Oh, dang it! A 27
High enough,
is
but
not
there
high
is
enough.
there's an explosion within like a 10-foot radius there, and you're far enough away with your mage hand, so you don't get damaged. So that's
Yeah.
a new tactic you've discovered. Anyways, it's a couple weeks travel across the desert, fairly uneventful. You don't run into any tabaxi, you're not hunted by any lizard folk, anything like that. You're not eaten by any worms, or you don't fall into quicksand. But the journey back it's long, it is heavy on your hearts. You've learned a lot of pretty world-changing information. And you also have the ever-threatening presence of the venomous roots. You don't know how well Avi was able to sort of silence them. Now, if you spend too much time like next to them or whatever, you might like get like a tinge of a whisper and you scurry away real fast. But after so it's 2 weeks out of the desert, and then I think an additional 2 weeks back to town from there. It is a long, arduous journey, and there is the world is even more fearful and like anxious than they had been on your way up. There is a lot of fear, there's a lot of uncertainty. The terror has grown wider. People in villages are terrified, basically preparing for the end of the world themselves, even though they don't necessarily know what's going on. But you are able to make it back to Redcliffe. It's been a couple months since you've been here. It feels good to be home, probably. But here you are. Welcome home, everyone.
My gosh, it feels so good to be back here, even with the giant gaping hole in the sky.
Well, should we just get rid of these boots and get our, I guess, praise?
Yeah,
The sooner we get rid of these things, the better. I can hear the whispers.
Okay, so you guys
I
make
keep
your
drinking.
way up to the administrative area of Redcliffe, where what did I name her? Did I name her Miranda?
Yes. The Harvey fill-in is Miranda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miranda is there, ready to greet you. Welcome back, everyone. I assume you look quite weathered and tanned and tired and sandy, but I'm glad to see you all made it back safe. I assume you want to see Victoria to report on your mission?
Please.
She says, excellent, let me go see if she's ready. And she rushes away really quick, returns a few moments later and says, well, she has a very tight calendar today, but of course we'll always make time to see you upon your return. Great, follow me. And she leads you into Victoria's chambers. Or her office rather. Victoria looks extremely tired. She's chief emissary, she's tier 2 officer in the Wardens. She's in charge of a lot of these artifact hunts and all the other stuff going on in the world. Basically, she's sending people out, receiving reports, trying to organize. She looks absolutely exhausted. But even so, she stands up as you approach and says, welcome back. I'm glad to see you're all safe. Please tell me you have good news, though.
Go ahead, Barry.
Well, we do have good news. We do have another artifact. And then I look over at Troy, who I'm assuming
Thank
has
you,
the
gods.
napkins.
Yeah. So I basically am just holding the knapsack with the root boots in them. I'm assuming she doesn't want them directly, so I'm kind of like looking at her like, where do you want these?
She snaps her fingers. Miranda comes in and she gives her some instructions to go retrieve like the proper person to grab them.
I hand it. Hey, I need the napkin whenever.
Yeah,
can.
we'll get it back to you. Oh my gosh. I can't tell you what a relief it is that you... Excellent work. I want to hear the details, of course, but for now, let's just be thankful and celebrate that this happened. You could not have been more critical of a mission, let me tell you. Thank you so much for this. Really, excellent work.
I mean, can you give us the short version of why you're so happy? I mean, we obviously know that these things
I
are
mean,
going
if
to
you
help stop the end of the world, but
That's basically it, really. We're kind of in the end game here. I need to gather all of them as fast as possible.
I mean, if you had to put a monetary value to how great this job was, about what would it be?
How does 850 sound each?
All right.
I thought that was very generous, but you don't seem all that impressed. Anyway, you know what? It's fine. Again, thank you so much. What's I'll have you write a report later, of course. And you're
Yeah.
Also, we have heard a rumor that there is another artifact in the south.
in the south.
Has there been any strange activity?
The south from Arsonfell or the south from here?
I look at everyone else like,
I think it was the south from the desert.
So that would put it in Sethos. We have agents out there. I haven't heard. And actually, and she goes and looks through some papers and says, "There's been some reports of villages being completely wiped out. Did you come across anything like that on your journeys?"
Yes, we did. In fact, the entire civilization that the artifact was founded around happened to have been wiped out.
There's some really jerkworms out there in the desert. Let me tell you.
Sorry, what civilization?
So there is an entire civilization of large people that have lizard features and worship the god called Zook, and many of them are now dead.
Heathens, really.
This is a lot to take in right now. So you discovered a new civilization, and then it got destroyed by the artifact. And they were lizard people.
Yes, the artifact.
Right, by
Yep.
the artifact.
Yes.
That's pretty much.
I mean, that's what
Strictly
happened.
by the artifact.
That is what our report is going to say.
I mean, I have no doubt of their destructive power, but to think that...
The leader
tragedy.
of their culture tried to use the artifact, and it did not go well.
That's why my sadness for the 850. It was a rough journey.
No, it sounds like it. Can someone roll a history check, please? There's something very vital that I don't
Here,
know if you
+3.
forgot or are neglecting to tell.
Anybody can be +3?
Boofer, 17's good
not
enough.
me.
Sorry, I rolled anyway.
Boofers, you seem to recall on your way to the desert there was a village you passed through that was wiped out. There was also a big battle
I
there.
remember that.
Yeah. There was a battle with a knight, and
Oh, he hated
Oh.
me.
everyone died in their sleep.
That. I thought you meant in the desert. That was before we got to the desert, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That
where
was
we
in
met
Sethos,
Cleo.
actually.
That was
Yeah, is Cleo still with us?
She would be waiting outside. But not even in the high district. You would have had to have her stay elsewhere until you're willing to introduce her.
We put her in the
Or-
pub.
Yeah, that's good. She'll be in the pub. There you go. You can tell her.
Said, watch over this one.
You can tell her to leave if you want. You have to decide what you want to do with her.
Anyway, yeah, there was some villages wiped, and again, the new village that we found got wiped out because that leader, the leader of their village, was trying to use the artifact, got corrupted, and we had to redeem him. But we did get the artifact, and it was long, but kind of like Poofers was saying. We did hear a rumor about something in the south, and if villages are getting wiped off the map, it's probably a good chance it's down there. You might want to contact that group. That and
Oh, I will.
give us a little break, and if they need help, we can head down there.
No, certainly that is valuable information. Where did you hear these rumors from?
Just people talking about villages being destroyed. I mean, when we were on our way to Arsenfell, we ran into, some bad situations, and there was talk of disruptions to the south, and we can only assume.
Well, okay, I guess it is a safe assumption.
Yeah, the travels, as you're traveling with caravans and stuff, you hear people in towns and stuff talk about it.
So what happened with this artifact? How did the city get destroyed?
As I said, the leader of their civilization was attempting to use it, and turns out he wanted to use it for his own gain, whether that was corruption via the artifact or not, but he ended up destroying his own civilization in the process, and we were barely able to stop him and retrieve the artifact.
He was trying to gain absolute power, and it corrupted him, absolutely.
I can only say I'm thankful that you succeeded. Of course, you can provide more details in your report. But for now, take a few days to yourselves, recover. I have another mission for you, certainly, whenever you're ready. Really quick, though, Eravir, so glad to see you not staring off into space anymore. Welcome back to reality.
Hi.
You had asked us to look into some of the goings-on over in Shira, and I did get a report back if you're interested in hearing about that.
Oh, definitely. Thank you.
So, most of it we were very aware of. There was the ascension of a new high priest after the merging of the houses of Sun and Moon. We were aware that was going on, though it was unprecedented. The original high priest who had instrumented that merging fell ill and was replaced by, I believe it was his son. I'd have to check the reports, though. Anyways, our reports said that everything is actually quite peaceful right now, even though people are uncertain with this sort of new order of things, this entire overhaul of the culture and religion. It seems that everything is going all right. The new high priest seems to be getting along well with the elven royalty, and apparently there's some big celebration coming up in a few months. Some sort of festival for an eclipse. I'm sure you would know.
Yes. Thank you so much for all this information. This is great to hear.
Good. Glad to give some good news. All right. Well.
Sorry, real quick. Any news of Harvey or his whereabouts or situation?
I assume he just is on an extended leave. I'm sure he has family he's worrying about. He's not really critical to the operation here, so.
It's critical to us.
Critical friendship.
Is Miranda not suiting your needs?
Oh, she's fine. She's good.
Right.
Destroyed needs.
Here, in that case, I will brief you on your new quest, your new assignment in a few days. Like I said, you're welcome to take some days to rest and recuperate.
Sounds good. And we'll take that 850.
Okay. You can each add 850 GP to your stashes.
Nice.
For math.
What does everybody add on that, by the way? 'Cause
God,
I'm
I
still
forgot how
really curious
rogue
about
I am.
this.
I'm at 1700.
I'm at 1320.
Sec, I'm doing math.
Are you guys serious?
Yeah, I
Dang.
bought those tattoos
We just
and
got
stuff.
850.
I have just shy of like 3K right now.
You've been hoarding.
I have been hoarding. I'm
Yeah.
trying to buy a
You-
dang. I'm buying the time stone, you guys. Like, that's an important thing for fighting runes.
I'm at almost 37.
Dang. All right. Well, Magnus and I are gonna own the time stone then, apparently.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
about 28.
How much was it? 12?
28.
Yeah,
No, the
time stone itself was 12.
12. How
12.
close are we to that?
Chronomancer's pocket watch is what it was called.
12. Okay, so I'm 3. You're almost 4. And how much Eravir did you have? 7,
Almost 3.
10.
Why did we need this again?
We're
You're
almost there.
You're at 10.
We're almost there, guys. Because
not gonna
because
be
it allows us to rewind time by 6 seconds. Because it's worth every penny.
Get out
I
of
do
jail
think
free.
that's a pretty
I want to wear it.
important.
I've been saying, yeah, I think we should like
I want to wear it.
good. We want to save it. Save money and
I want to wear
buy
it.
this thing.
Oh wait,
Or I'm going to.
Sorry, there's one more thing that Victoria wanted to update you on. Just I'll tell you real quick because you already left. The other elite team that went to the Dwarven Underground instead of you,
They died.
They're all dead.
They're all
No.
dwarves.
they are banished from the Underground. They stopped a civil war from happening, but things are still not good. But
I mean,
there's
that's better than we did. We just-
I would say that's markedly better than we did.
Yeah.
Did they get an artifact?
there was no artifact down there, but they did prevent
Exactly.
the society from collapsing.
Right, but to be fair, we only got the artifact because Avi showed up in the 11th hour. We would have gone home with some dumbass staff and been like, "Here you go."
Hey guys,
It was
we
an
did it.
awesome staff. So
we would have been
Hey,
fired.
All right. So I think that as a transition here from all of the heavy things that we've talked about to a sort of let's go shopping and a let's goof around in town for this interlude session. Let's take a quick break now and then come back and we'll have
Sounds
fun and not worry about the end of the world for a little bit.
perfect.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, guys. We'll be back in a short minute. 1.
Welcome back. So you guys kind of you've just arrived back in town. You got rid of the artifact. You handed it over. You've received some updates about world events. And now you are gonna go sleep a bit before hitting the town. Much needed rest in a bed for once. When you return to your quarters, Poofers, you find a letter which I sent you the contents of, but I think that was the only one this time. And you guys can all get a nice, good night's rest.
I don't have that letter.
Now
Look
you
at
do.
again. Fine. I'll give you more details. What are you guys dreaming about? Fill the time.
But you just said it's a letter from somebody, but I asked you for a reminder. I don't remember that at all.
Okay, well then I'll type up a reminder while you guys tell me what your characters are dreaming about.
I am dreaming about pie. Lots and lots of pie. I am floating in an astral plane, and I'm on what appears to be a mattress at first look, but it is actually a gigantic baguette. And as I float by, there is a waterfall of beer just falling into the abyss. That's what I'm dreaming of.
Can I have his dream? I want his dream.
I'm dreaming of my homeland and my brother Lothric and growing up with him since I was just hearing about my homeland and thinking about what's going on. Just kind of memories.
I don't remember my dreams.
When I lay down, I just go unconscious, just instantly fall asleep, and I dream it's just black for a while, and then I dream of like just flashes of our previous battles and stuff like that, and then I dream of using like a cool spell like Misty Step and teleporting on top of a worm and then riding the worms up and through the earth, kind of like lassos on it. And so I'm riding the worm up and through the earth, and then all of a sudden it's black again, and then I tell what's our follower's name again?
Chloe.
Chloe.
Cleo.
I tell,
In his dream,
I tell
she can be whatever she wants to be called.
Yeah. I tell her that we're gonna have a strength competition, and the first thing she has to do is try to open this box. So I give her the unopenable box, and it explodes, and I start laughing.
Magnus also snores. I can hear him from my room.
It's amazing. And just
Nice.
and then just like Loki kind of tricks for like the rest of the night.
Okay. Anyone else want to share their dreams?
I think that was all of us
Just
except for
dreams in
Poopers.
colors.
It's like in Ratatouille when you take a bite of something, there's like an explosion of color.
It's just like paint splatters. And sometimes they make stuff, and sometimes they don't.
Sounds like a condition. Okay. Alright, you guys wake up in the morning, a bit, probably late actually, probably have a really good night's rest. Wake up pretty late, grab some num-nums, and go about your day. I don't have a specific agenda for you to do. You can go shopping, you can catch up with some NPCs. I think that one thing you should do is deal with the NPC that you've brought back and left in an inn tavern overnight. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, guys, before we head out for the day, I wanted to bring up something kind of important, and I hold up the letter that I have received overnight. I'm like, so, do you guys remember Karma? Mr. Deva chasing an archdemon.
Is that Mr. Stabby Stabby?
That, yeah, he did stab me once. Yes, it's the very same.
Okay.
A light stabbing.
You mean in the flesh?
Yes.
I mean, that's
Okay.
light stabbing. It's totally different.
I think that we may want to consider going to help him. He does not ask for help or friends, and neither do any of his kind, but him asking us for help twice now seems like it's probably important, and since we have been dealing with archdemons lately, it might benefit us to maybe take care of this on the way to an artifact mission.
What is he asking for help?
Let's see, here's what he has said. Should you find yourself free and able, I would welcome company on my hunt, meaning hunting the archdemon. This threat must be stopped, even at the sacrifice of all that I am and all that I believed. So, yes, not a whole lot of information, but I can
I
comment.
really hope
P.S.
he's not hunting Avi.
I was just gonna say
That
that.
would be really funny, wouldn't it?
P.S. I won't stab you if you come. But
I love
yes,
that.
I thought the
If-
same thing. He's totally hunting Avi.
If I'm
Oh,
down
he's
to help him.
hunting. He's hunting a different
Yeah.
archdemon.
That would be hilarious, though.
That would be
That's
very
a great
mean.
idea. That's a great idea. Maybe I should
This is-
change it.
This is one of those moments where the DM is like, "Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Write that down."
Giuseppe. The name is Giuseppe.
I'm down to help him. And then for help with my problem.
You know,
Because,
he would probably be a good ally to have.
and I mean, he likes stabbing people. We're gonna need some stabbing. And
You know he likes to stab.
you know,
He is proficient in the stabbing.
and as a procurer of finer things, as well as sharp stabby things, I think he would be a good fit. But so
Definitely
I'm,
combat ready.
But in all seriousness, I'm down to help. But I do. We, more specifically, I are gonna need a lot of help when they go back home.
To remind people, one of the ongoing tasks is to gather an entire resistance force to overthrow
Yes.
a bad thing.
We
in a
had
different
not
city.
destroyed that civilization that may have been.
So
So
if you
Have
guys
you
are cool
con-
with that,
have you
You wanna-
considered asking Avi to back you up?
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Game of cards, my friends. Game
Sorry,
of cards.
Avi, we're gonna go with your friend, but can you help us with this thing anyways?
No. We
No,
haven't
maybe like
conversed with
Avi,
anybody
we're
yet.
coming around, but we need your help.
Side note on the Avi thing, I actually agree with Magnus.
Yeah, I
So,
mentioned this last session. I agree. I think we need to keep as many people in good graces as possible so that we can combat a certain crow situation in the north.
We didn't turn her down. We just said, let's put a pin in that.
But
And it was
Anyway.
actually quasi well received, I think.
Yeah.
I would say so. She gave us a little artifact detector.
I think that's what she expected us to do.
you know what's funny
Yeah.
too is I've been thinking about that coin that you carry, Barry, and full circle. It's an artifact detector. It also could be a locator of where we are, that she could find us whenever she wants.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, she looks well, good, and nice, but
Does she look nice?
she looks fantastic. She's infernal, really good looking, totally fine with it.
If
Don't make
you
it-
Totally
had
not biased.
infinite power,
From the
you would put
tiefling.
yourself in a rockin' bod too.
Don't
okay.
don't make it weird.
It's
But
true.
so my point is yeah, she has a plan that we confirmed she wants to stop the ruin. Great. And maybe our paths align that way, but it doesn't mean that she's still a good person, right? Just because she wants to stop that doesn't mean that she doesn't have ulterior motives with anything else. You know, she could be like, okay, minions, go get my artifacts for me. You found another one? Oh, she appeared again. That's weird. How did she know
Oh, I
exactly
stopped
where we
the
were?
ruin for you, mortals.
Exactly.
Now I'm going to rule you.
That's my point. Is like you have this cool coin, and it is cool, you know. But we're taking it at face value, right? And it doesn't mean that it's not a tracking beacon or something else that she has.
Sure. Fair point. Do we have some kind of... You know how Magneto wears a helmet, so Dr. Xavier can't find him?
We should wear
I got a
tinfoil
cool
hats.
Do we have something
I
like that for the
nominate you
coin?
For the tinfoil hat wearing.
There's a spell,
Wrap it in a
but I think
napkin.
you cast it on yourself.
But full circle, bringing it back to what Poofers was saying on the letter, I agree, and I am down to do it. But I want this to be we will help you if you will help us kind of thing.
Well, we better be on our best behavior.
Well, we're helping them. Screw that.
On the line of help you and help us, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I have received information about Callie, and it has to do with Cleo, and I think that we should maybe keep Cleo very close because she has intimate knowledge of the Imperium, which we might need to go rescue Callie from.
I thought Callie was doing just fine and everything was okay on that last
See,
trip.
she was, until she willingly went to the Imperium, so I will actually be able to receive information from her if she needs help, in which case we should probably go.
Well, why doesn't Cleo,
Cleo.
sorry, Cleo chillax, drinks, relax, for a few days, and then when it's time for us to head out, she heads out with us.
Well, see, I
Deckers.
don't know if it's going to be a few days or a few months or after the ruin. I have no idea. It's more just, hey, I need help. Come rescue me.
I know. I'm just saying for right now to go with us on the next artifact, our next mission. She could tag along.
I think that's a good idea.
Is she gonna kill Callie when we
Boy, you know, I sure hope not.
I mean, you saw how she was with Avi and
So-
Well,
Magnus,
they're a little
and
different. They're a little bit different.
Callie is not a demon of any type. She's
Hey.
not bad. No offense. But, well, I mean, Cleo has some issues with you too, Magnus. So I'm just saying.
All right.
You should
Can-
buy her flowers or something.
First of all, no. And second, can we just do a quick little inventory on where our friends are, just so we're all caught back up, as far as one's in the pub, one's in the Imperium. My brother is back in the town who I got to talk to.
Where's Tempe?
He's hanging around.
he's just
So we
just
have
playing his
Was it
playing
a
his
loot?
little
Okay,
keeping
well-
violin.
He's keeping the bartenders and the
Well,
tavern
he's
owners.
no. He's busking on the street corner with his violin case.
You know, the
open.
companions have lives too. That's why they go off and do things, unless they're utilized fully. So,
How
And
much
Tempe's
money
the only
has he
other
made?
one that
well,
we are
Tempe
not
is
accounted
the
for.
Tempe's the only one who doesn't have a life here. So, what is he supposed to go do?
So I
he's-
think
yeah,
they're
he's
all
busking on the
accessible.
corner.
I think they're all accessible except for Callie.
Can, real quick, just this is a DM question. For my homeland problem, do all the companions count as like part of allies that can come with us
If they're
we talk-
alive.
if we talk to them and they're alive?
If,
Yeah.
if we don't
Damn,
kill
what does
them.
that
Great.
mean?
Super.
Listen,
just
I
because you've been
am-
keeping us allowing to have one this whole time. I just want to make sure, like,
Well, that's so I don't have to run like 4 people at once.
right.
You know, I'm out for blood now that I've killed one NPC. I want them all dead.
Oh god.
No.
All right. Cool.
Oh, you killed one NPC. That was cute. We destroyed a town.
I guess I killed many NPCs,
Troy.
didn't I?
We
What he really means
Anger
is
her.
thank you very much.
So just on the Cleo Imperium issue, 2 more things to consider are, she is from the Imperium, but I think that Poofra's used her mirror, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it did
she's
not seem like-
exiled, I believe.
yeah, she's exiled. She does have information on it, but she won't necessarily be welcome back.
And she uses magic.
She does use magic. But it is holy magic. She's a paladin, which is an interesting point and a hint about the Imperium. And on top of that,
Zealots.
she has a quest of her own. She might stick around for a little bit if you ask her to, but she's not someone who likes to be idle.
You know,
She's
I'm
not
sure
gonna Tempe around all day.
if we go help find an archdemon, I mean that's right up her alley. So she's gonna jump at the occasion to do that.
She should be all about that.
That's
And-
why I'm saying she should just chill for a few days and then come with us to go get the archdemon.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go talk to her and tell her that that's our plan. So then, I mean, not only will she be motivated to go do that, I'm guessing, but just help build a relationship, and hopefully she won't keep eyeing me.
Or me.
One more thing is you also have another assignment awaiting you.
Yeah, from
Oh, yeah.
hoping that they'll kind of be in the same direction.
Yeah,
so we can knock one
triangulate.
out and continue on the other one.
Right. Well, I mean, that other assignment, like we brought up about going down south for that other rune or artifact, and hopefully we can swindle our way to do that if that's in the same direction.
So to the tavern.
Yeah, let's go to the tavern. Talk to
That's always our
To the tavern!
tavern.
Did we make it?
We
I'm
made
away
it.
from home.
No,
I did it a little bit prematurely, but
Troy
to the
leads
tavern.
us and we get lost.
Hey,
Okay.
I will have you know I'm an excellent map maker, reader, and leader when it comes to directions. I may not have much else going on, but I can sure do that.
Maybe one of those things.
Okay, so you guys make it down south over to the Sour Note, Red Cliff's primary tavern and inn. It's almost always packed here, and the owner is a tiefling named Lemondrop. And it's packed when you get here. You can find Cleo brooding in the corner as she does in most situations. She's significantly larger than most people here. She's like a big person. She's human though, I think.
Yeah, the path.
Yeah.
That's exactly who I was picturing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to walk up to her and say, "Hi, Cleo." So,
How's the brooding?
by the way?
What'd you say?
Did we roll a hotness check on her, by the way?
She was like an 8 or something.
All right,
She's
just making sure.
she's a very large, powerful lady,
She's
and
a
I feel like
whole lot of
anybody who's
hotness.
attracted to power would be very drawn to her.
Yeah. So she turns to you over and says, "Well, I didn't know if I would hear back from you. You just kind of left yesterday."
sorry, we had to take care of some business. But I know you're kind of upset about the whole not getting to Kalani thing. But we
Can't say I'm enthusiastic about letting an archdemon walk away.
are gonna be on the trail of another archdemon. If
You
you,
can
would
kill
like
this
to help us hunt it down.
Does your
You can
party
kill this
frequent archdemons? This seems like a sort of
As of
pattern.
late,
This is
yes.
actually a new thing for us.
Well, I'm always down to slay a good demon, and she casts a glance over at Magnus quickly.
Smirk back at her.
So we'll just kind of have to hang here for a little bit, and then get some orders and head out on the trail of archdemon.
So you want me to just wait here for a few days?
I mean, you can come shopping with us. Do you want to come shopping? We aren't really doing anything for a few days. We're just hanging out.
She's not allowed to go shopping, actually.
Or you
You can't
could
get into
keep
the
it.
shopping district.
No, you cannot get into the magical shopping district.
Can we not? Well, our other friends who aren't wardens. can get in
Callie's not a warden, but she's a sanctioned contractor. No one has introduced Cleo yet. Nor is it
there. We
likely
could
that
try and introduce her and tell them that she aided us capturing the artifact, so that she can gain access at least to the city. What do you guys think?
I think she could be a good contractor.
What can you offer? Power, muscles.
Pretty much.
How many people in Redcliffe does she want to kill right now?
She's not gonna attack anyone, but it's more just like she was raised to not like magic and not like some of the more demonic species. So it's more just like she's really uncomfortable around those people. She's not gonna attack anyone.
Well, if we do take her to introduce her, we need to make sure she keeps her mouth shut about all the stuff we're not sharing.
All of that artifact business.
And the whole
More so
civilization.
the evil demon lady. And
You know about the knowledge is power kind of thing, right? You obviously know about power. I mean, not as much as I do, but you know enough that not giving away all your cards right away can definitely help you. So
Oh, sure. I'm no stranger to lying now. What
Obviously.
exactly are you? Sharp tongue. It's because
not
it's
the only thing
forked.
sharp.
She stands up like over you. She's like several feet taller than you, I think.
I'm like 6 foot.
She's like almost 7 feet tall. She's like, "I'd watch your mouth." And she turns back to whoever was talking before that. Now, what are we excluding from our story here?
mainly the fact that we were the cause of that civilization dying, and also the archdemon.
I mean, the artifact was the cause.
So essentially, you can claim to have aided us in the fight against the artifact, wearing, leader of the civilization. But let's just leave out the worms and, the chaos fighting and all of that part.
All right. Who are you going to take her to?
Who's the replacement Harvey?
Miranda.
We should probably take her to Miranda.
Okay. You tell the guards at the mid-gate that you would like to speak to Miranda, who actually travels all of that way from the main castle down, and says, "Oh, wow! Who's your friend here?"
She actually has been a great help to us. She has, and I kind of like shove closer, very limited knowledge of the artifact. She actually helped us to acquire one. We think that she would be a good ally to the wardens.
Okay, I can take her to see Darian if you'd like. It's ultimately the decision's up to him.
It should be known that she probably saved one, if not all, of our lives during the
Yeah, we would be good.
during the battle of
Of the-
obtaining the artifact.
Not only
So
that,
we-
but also when we needed help with that knight in that town.
Oh, I guess a couple
Yeah, that
times.
knight was a jerk.
So we actually owe quite a bit to her.
What about the giant scorpion that we fought? I mean, she definitely helped with that.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I definitely saved you from that one, Magnus. Remember you were
No,
pinned
you
under-
assisted.
You were
me.
pinned under its claws as you were screaming for help like a child.
That's when I revived you after you were stung by the poison.
I recall it differently. What do you guys think? I remember that Magnus had been stung, and I
Look,
used
it
my
really doesn't
holy,
matter. The
my
point
holy
is-
powers.
is
Well,
that we
we
can-
just want to be able to take her shopping with us. I mean, it's the least we could do.
I think also something that we may want to mention to her is the trials to become a warden.
Well, you don't have to become a warden to go shopping.
Yes, I'd actually rather not become a warden. We have some.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought you might.
Not everybody can handle it. I get it.
You're right, Magnus. Some people just can't handle fighting for their own justice. They don't need someone to tell them what's right and wrong.
Anyway, so can she please come shopping with us?
Miranda's like sitting here like, sweating at the tension in the air, and she says, just let me run up to Darian really quick. And about 20 minutes later, she comes back with a sort of paper that gives Cleo clearance only for the shopping district, not for the castle.
That's fine. Is
Fair
there
enough.
she can stay at the inn and everything, so
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
yeah, that'll do.
Thank you.
I'd like to go shopping.
I'd like to go to the magic shop.
Okay.
Take you to the magic shop.
First place we're going is Dreadwrath and Beyond, run by your good drow friend Gil. Wow, it has been a long time since you guys have been in town. It's almost so long that I can't remember what voice I somewhat use for him. Welcome
Ross.
everyone. Welcome back. Wow, it's been quite a while. I remember you had bought the little bloodstone that led you to the salamander friend. I heard all about that one. Gosh, and you big one, you like the tattoos. I've given you what, 2 now? How are they
Yeah.
up? Oh, I see.
Actually, that's exactly why I'm here. I'm interested in a barrier tattoo.
Ooh, Barry, now that's an interesting selection. Quite a popular one in the tattooing world, if you will. It's sort of like a protective ward. Now, are you interested in a larger tattoo which will provide more protection, or a smaller one which would provide less?
A larger one.
And you're aware that this will cover a large portion of your body.
Yes. My full back, right? And what exactly would the design be?
We look up a few examples while you guys decide and make sure no one else wants this tattoo. No, everyone is okay.
So,
with it.
Erebir, I actually might want that tattoo. And hear me out. When you fight, you can teleport many times to get away from people. I, however, just get hit over and over and over again until I am smashed to a pulp and barely standing.
But you can run very fast, and you can take
I
a beating
can't-
much more than I can.
Yes, but I can't run away without getting smacked in the face by whoever's standing next to me.
One of you also has a higher AC than the other.
My AC is currently 16.
Right. But I have these bracers of defense that I am going to then get rid of.
That is
So-
what gives me my 16. I also have bracers that give me 16.
Here, I will solve this problem. I will take the bracers off whoever gets this tattoo, and we'll call it fair.
Erebir, I'm just saying, if I die, all of you are going to get smashed by
If you
everybody.
die, I'm definitely taking the bracers.
Do you have the money for it?
I do. I do have the money for
Isn't
this.
there also a ring you would take too?
Well, first of all, yeah,
That's
it is,
his
it is a ring, and I'm
I
gonna
ate it.
take it soon. Oh, well, I'm gonna. Don't worry.
That was a long
I'm gonna
time
get
ago.
it.
That's
A lot of
come
things
out
get
by
off
now.
of one's corpse.
That's come out.
I may have had some bad hamburgers or something at that time. Anyway, I
There's
do
so
want the
many fun
bracers though
tattoo
that you guys take
designs.
off. Just saying.
I am not gonna let Magnus take those. Actually, his AC is too high already.
What?
Yeah.
You're gonna let the caster have an 18 AC?
I'm not gonna let you have 19 AC.
You're gonna let the caster have it?
She can already throw up shield too, which she's very hard to hit actually.
Fine, Poofer's can have it.
Haha! What was
Okay.
the design?
I couldn't find tattoos that I love.
It's gonna like cover her whole body.
So I mean,
Just-
it scales down to size with you.
Poofers is gonna be like Yakuza, and she's gonna have like all this stuff all over her fur.
You can get like a cool like shoulder piece tattoo like that, or you can get like a shield like this on your back. I'm posting these in Discord, by the way. It has to be some
Oh,
sort
it's
of
like armor.
it has to be some sort of protective shield. And a reminder: if you have fur, which you do, it'll grow out, but your fur pattern will change with the design.
see. Okay,
You can have it, but I get to shave you.
Pretty
Where you get it.
cool.
that's okay. You can shave me. You can shave me anytime.
That's pretty cool that the fur pattern will change with the tattoo.
That's what berries does, I think.
That's really cool.
Okay, I'd like to get a shoulder one. One sec. Would kind of like it to be shaped like that shoulder patch in the image that you sent earlier of my friend. So kind of reminiscent of that.
Okay, I can do that. It's not very detailed.
No,
Yeah.
you can add a flourish to it, but I just want it to kind of
Which one?
bear resemblance. Anastasia can describe it.
I mean that's a coat, so it's different. Are you talking about the piece right here?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, it's more like a very regal sigil, sort of resembling a sun, but not really. It's more like a star, I guess. And then it wraps from like right here down the arm a little bit, where this like right here is sort of lined, and then there's like another color right here. So it's more like a protective coat than like necessarily like metallic pieces of armor, I guess.
You can transition the feel into an armor feel.
Yeah, so we'll transition that sort of like minimalistic regal star design to it. Okay. So Erev, are you gonna shave poofers?
Yes.
Are you being nice about it?
Yes.
Thank you.
I think she should roll.
Performance check.
I do too.
If
Of all the times I've had my fur ripped out and shaved,
Right?
I am staying very composed
shaky
about
a
the
little bit.
situation, but I'm gonna enjoy watching this a little bit.
all right, can you roll a sleight of hand or a performance check?
Sleight of hand.
Everyone's watching you. Oh, poofers, are you going to the tavern as per Barry's tradition, or are you doing it in the shop?
We can go to the tavern.
Oh, my favorite time. We always get
Nice
to go
roll.
down to the tavern and everyone gets to watch. That's a very nice roll, actually. You guys parade down back to the Sour Note. And it's kind of like tradition at this point. Like every time this group comes back to town, there's a tattoo demonstration in the tavern. And there's already a table there for you. It's got like an A carved into it. And no one knows how it got there. But that's like the tattoo table now. So all the bards hit up like a nice jovial tattoo themed song. Erevier actually very very definitely shaves you. Which arm are you putting it on, Poofers? Your left or your right?
Wait.
Shaves your left arm and shoulder. And the tattoo begins. How are you reacting to this? Do you have you do have a high pain tolerance because you get smacked all the time, but
Yeah, I get this is nothing. I've been stabbed many times by enemies and friends.
yeah.
She's been mostly dead a few times too, I think, right?
Yeah, this is just a series of very small stabbings. It does nothing to you. You're not as reactive as Biren is, so most people are like a little bit disappointed with the show here, but the tattoo turns out nicely. And now you have a higher AC, 18 I think, in fact.
Yes. Is anybody here allowed to use my +2 bracers?
I'm maxing
Agnes.
AC at 18 for at least one more level, so you can hold on to them if you want.
Ooh, I could then.
Wait, those will go up. So, if you need them, Yeah,
Well,
sure.
I mean, that would get me
Magnus,
to 18.
if it's a +2, you can't go to 19. Magnus was my point. You can go to 18 if you want them. I don't want anyone over 18.
Okay,
Let me-
okay. And
How
I
about this?
go like this in the bar. I'm like, okay, after my new tattoo, say everybody make a ring. I'm gonna throw these in the middle, and you guys fight for them.
Or
You gonna
Or-
do a roll off
Troy,
for it?
I'll give you my ring. It'll give you +1. I'll take the bracers. You're ranged. I have to get up close.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
Are you just gonna make them pay
Can
for this?
you just throw it
though?
just so I can see
Hey.
what would have happened?
Those
Stop it.
bracers
I can't
are
hear anything. That's weird.
775 gold. You're not gonna make them pay for it?
Oh, they're my friends.
Yeah, and
She's
she
got
ate.
so
And she
much
ate my
money.
ring.
And I just hand them to Magnus and like, look, I don't
Yeah.
need these. If I needed them, I might charge for them, but I don't.
All right, I keep him and bring my AC to 19.
No, your AC is 18.
Just kidding. I flick the ring over to Troy.
Okay.
I catch it. And because Magnus is such a baby, it only fits on my pinky.
First of all, all right.
Nice
how do
child's
I-
ring.
How do
If it was me, I'd have to put it on my pinky toe because I'm so big.
So that raises my AC by 1 then? The ring?
Yes.
Awesome.
Everyone
Um,
has a free attunement slot for these, right?
The ring wasn't an attunement.
So I'm gonna have to attune to the tattoo.
You tune to the
Right.
tattoo and it's permanent. You can't remove it.
Okay.
Do I have to attune these bracers?
You have to attune to the bracers and you have to attune to the ring. It should have been attuned, yeah.
I think the only other attunement I have is my hat, unless you're counting my sword as an attunement.
Your sword is from your backstory, so we're not
Okay.
gonna attune that.
Are the attunements permanent?
Only the tattoos are permanent.
Okay.
You have to like change it over a long rest, but you guys aren't doing any
And
fighting, so I don't care.
How many can, I'm sorry, how many can we, how many?
You have 3.
3? Okay, I think I
Normally-
only have 1 right now.
Okay. Normally a tattoo is half of one, but Poofer's is very powerful, so she used a full one.
Unless, I'm not attuned to that moon touched blade that I got, right? The one that shines in the dark or whatever.
I don't know. Let me look it up.
I'm pretty sure I'm only attuned to that, the HP steel of my bow.
That's probably correct, but you go ahead and continue what you're doing. I'm looking.
So I'd like to go back to the magic shop.
Okay, you guys all trek back to the magic shop after
And-
this. It's like an hour. No, it's like 3 hours later, probably. He's very good at this.
I'm guessing she's showing off her tattoo as we're walking back.
Yeah, it does not require attunement. Sean, Troy.
The ring does not? You said? Oh,
It- the sword.
blade.
The
okay,
ring
yeah.
does.
So the ring would be my second attunement then. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Looking through your stuff here, what's this handkerchief thing? The portable hole.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the description so I can do it right. Yes, of course. Wow, this beautiful thing, and he takes it from you and like displays it all nice. It says, it's very dangerous. You shouldn't just touch it all willy-nilly. Actually, it's soft as silk, but if you unfold it, and he like furls it out and puts it on the ground, and then puts his hand down through it and like shows that there's now like a space there, you can actually just create a hole in any flat surface. Isn't that exciting? It's 6 feet in diameter. It's quite handy. I will say that, and he like picks it up and the floor is just there again. The hole is not in our plane. It is somewhere else, so you can't really like. Don't throw a bag of holding in there. That would be very disastrous.
If we put something in there and then pick that hole back up, but then put the hole back down, is it the same hole? Like, will the thing still be in there? Can we test that right this
Any
second?
creature inside, folding the cloth closes the hole, and any creatures or objects within remain in the extra. Actually, yes, you can just throw something in, pick it up, and it'll be there later. I
But
will
it
say,
suffocates though.
yeah,
it's
if you
alive.
put someone alive in there, it won't turn out too well for them.
But if we put certain, I don't know, things that we may collect over time together in this particular place, it would still be there every time we throw it in there.
Yeah, I will say it is 10 feet deep, so it might be a struggle getting some of those things out, especially if they're very heavy.
Okay.
Use the grappling
like it.
hook and a rope.
I want this.
It is yours, friend, for 800 gold. Please make note of, you have to have full access to the surface. You can't put it under someone who's standing there. You have to ask them to like pick their feet up.
But if that person walks into it, though, they will fall down.
Yeah, if it's already there, and it has to be completely on a surface. So if your surface is not 6 feet diameter, then it can't be placed.
Right.
Like it has to be completely flat.
Right.
And it also cannot go on a wall. It says that in the description. Like it can't.
Like I can't push it against the wall, and now we have a side hole.
No, it has to be down flat. It has to be vertical hole.
Even if it's taped.
Yes, even if it's
Alright.
taped up.
Tape the magic holds to the wall.
Magical tape. Okay, I still want it.
Okay. I think I said it was 800 gold or something on there. Yeah, 800.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have a keen eye for any of our wonderful selections this week?
I mean, we would love to buy the what's it called, the pocket watch, but
Oh, the
Chronomancer's
Chronomancer's-
I think I still don't think we can afford it.
Well, it is quite a powerful item, and no discounts on
Yet
that
I
one.
see it hasn't been moving through your wares. Clearly, nobody's interested.
It is a one-of-a-kind item, and that is
Maybe-
why it is priced quite so highly. I'm confident
Maybe
I
we
will
can
get
do
the
a
price.
loan kind of thing.
No.
Credit
Layaway?
payment plan, pay it off over 12 months.
How about this? If you put 12,000 down now, then I can give you the item.
That sounds like a great deal to me.
You drive a hard bargain, mister.
Right. Well,
But you're muted.
Sorry, counter offer. What if we put 1,200 down now, and we return back 10 times?
well, I don't have the guarantee that I'll get that, and trust me, I've had some very shady dealings in the past. Okay, counter offer. You put 13,000 down now, and I'll give you something that is also worth 1,000 or less.
Like 1,000 gold?
Yes. Exactly. You've got it.
Guys, these are some pretty great deals. We should be on. Why are we not on this?
I see why you still have it. Okay. Yeah, I'll think about it.
Great. Well, as always, you're welcome back anytime.
Bye. I gotta go to the potion shop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys go over to where the potion shop is. It's called the Elixirium. And you notice that the sign over it, which reads the Elixirium, has been taped over, and there's now a new sign there, which reads the Pauldron, with it like spelled like a paw, and like cauldron, not
Oh,
like the
no.
shoulder piece.
Oh, no.
Poofers runs in and yells, "Nyosi!"
Nosi is there, and he turns immediately like, and says, "Poofers! Oh yay!" And he like runs over and gives you a big hug. Welcome. I decided to move here.
Permanently?
Well, at least until all of this Sky Tour business is done. You know, people in Exeter are kind of all fleeing, and so I just kind of decided I was needed here more.
We met Desert Tabaxi. They were just like you.
Really?
Yes, I really liked them. They didn't seem very talkative, but they were also very nice, very helpful. Advised against sandworms.
Did you see my friend? His name is Paul, spelled with a W.
Did not. But I'm sure he was there somewhere.
Okay. So did you need something? I mean, how was your trip? How was the desert? Did you see any worms?
It was very hot. The worms, we heard about them. Let's see here. I think Ervir wanted some stuff.
Hi, Ervir.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, good. I happen to use my potion of heroism, so I would like to get another one.
Can do.
And then maybe an elixir of health.
Okay, yeah, that one's fine. I had to put that one in again. That's fine. Sure. Hey, Neil. Yeah. Hey, can you grab these potions for them?
Neil is working for Nielsen.
Oh, God.
Oh no. Poor Neil.
Comes up and is carrying 2 potions, and Yossi hops over and looks at him and says, "No, Neil. You silly bitty. Not that one. That one." And he points up on a potion that's on a really high shelf. And Neil has to get up and reach it for him.
Can I grab it for him?
Yeah, you're like even taller than Neil. He's like, okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah, I'll grab it, and I hand it to Neil. How are you doing, Neil?
Oh, okay. Things are okay.
It
We're getting by day by day.
how's Nosy treating you?
You know,
A little bit of a change up, I would assume.
It's been, I'm not gonna lie, Bjorn, it's been a hit to my confidence.
What happened to that book that we gave you?
Good.
No, that was great. I was feeling good for a while, but like, and he kind of like whispers to you, like, when a cat is bossing you around, you can't help but take it personally. Damn it, the puns.
God,
Yeah,
They're
we
contagious.
understand that.
Yeah,
Very much so.
I understand. Well, the good news is that you should try some string. It usually works.
Oh, I've noticed that. That's how I get him to leave me alone when I'm feeling overwhelmed. He like shows you like a ball of yarn that he has in his pocket.
Does Nosy see? Does
No,
Pooper
he's
see?
busy.
In fact,
I
you know what? What I do is like, whoa, you gotta be careful with that.
Don't just whip that thing out.
Oh,
All
sorry.
willy-nilly.
Actually, I think I'll just take the potion of heroism and leave the elixir of health.
Neil, what are you doing? We don't need that potion. Why didn't you grab it off the shelf?
I telepathically message. I'm sorry, Neil.
Neil
I
turns to you, Baron. Can you just put it back up?
yeah, I put it back up.
Thank you.
I'm actually in need of 2 greater healing potions, please.
Can do. We have plenty of those. And he puts 2 on the desk and slides them over to you. You know the price, because it's on the sheet. And he points to a menu. It's a new edition.
Yeah, I don't remember. I can't read.
The greater healing potions are 175.
175 each, okay. Thank
Anyone
you.
else need anything? At the cauldron? See, I got a big new
Um.
cauldron, and he points to like this huge cauldron in the middle of the shop, and it smells to Poofers really excellent, and to everyone else kind of nasty.
There's stuff in it.
Yeah.
I go up to the side and I start inspecting.
I'm making dinner. It's almost ready.
Poofer sticks a finger in, takes a taste.
Don't burn yourself. It tastes really good. Really excellent, actually.
Can I have some of this to go, Nosy?
Yeah. And he picks up a like potion vial and like scoops it up and hands it to you. That's all I got.
Yosi, you know, I need one of these potions as well. This and I'm looking through the list. This potion of diminution.
Diminution, yeah.
That one. Yeah.
Gain a reduce effect of the alright. Okay, that's 500 gold pieces.
500 gold?
Yeah. That's our discounted price for family
Just
and friends.
just to get small?
Yeah. Being small is pretty great, right, Poopers?
It does have its benefits, actually.
All right, I take it.
Okay. Does anyone else have any potion-related requests today? Hey, Neil, where's the salt? Neil's like, I don't know. And he's like, can you find it? okay. And Neil rushes off.
Thank you, Nosy. See you around.
It was a pleasure seeing you. I'll be here.
I yell out, "Thanks, Neil. Hang in there, buddy."
Yeah, I give him kind of like a finger gun kind of thing as we're walking out.
Kinda gives you like a.
Oh no.
Anybody need to go anywhere?
I do, but I kind of want to go by myself.
Why does it feel that out of all of our NPCs, Neil's the one who's the most in trouble right now?
Bill is in a very depressed state.
He's just,
Like,
he's going to
well,
be the
we
terrible
have-
evil
so
guy.
We have
Bringing in the
Kelly,
rune.
who's in dire straits. We've got like all these people, but I am most concerned about Neil right now.
Neil's for sure the final boss that's summoning the runes, so he doesn't have to do this anymore.
Oh god, the DM is like, oh, I'm gonna write that down.
Great idea.
What was
Uh,
the name of that book that we gave him, by the way? There's a name of that book.
The
It's like
little
some
wagon that
confidence.
could.
The little
Yeah.
wagon that
Yeah,
could.
that's right.
Yeah. Well, that's
Poor
what I
bastard.
gave. What did Poofers gave him one too?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yours was a weirder book though. It wasn't quite
Yeah.
on the same.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
First,
Uh,
let's go to the tailor.
Really quick, you guys are gonna have a week of downtime, so we can do whatever group events you want to fill that time with. But if you have any personal events you want to do, not in session, that's just an option. Clint, we can do yours in session. I'm just putting that out
Yeah.
there as an option.
It's more I need to go to the jeweler kind of by myself.
Poofers wants to go to the tailor. Does anyone want to go with her?
Sure. I'll
Yeah.
go look at the clothes.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot what I named Shine Bright Shop. It's good. It's good stuff. Don
Yeah, I don't
Corneo.
care what you call it. Shop.
Yeah. Okay, so Poofers and a company make your way down to Don Corneo, who, if you recall, is managed by a very flamboyant human named Oliver Corneo and his apprentice Trixie. The former always tries to gouge you, and the latter is more keen to offer you a deal behind the scenes. So you throw open the shop door, and the bell rings. He's like, turns to you with a flourish, like throws his cape that he's wearing around behind him. Welcome! Oh, a cat has wandered in. Trixie, do you have the broom? You can show the stray out.
I have money.
Oh, I was talking about that cat behind you. Obviously, oh, it's gone already. Don't worry about that. Welcome, patron to my humble little boutique, and it is like super extravagant here. You just make yourself at home. What are you interested in today?
I am looking for a very specific type of hat, a thinking cap.
I believe that is a metaphor, a sort of imaginary tool that teachers tell their students to put on their heads.
I actually know some people who think very well in these caps. They're kind of like a black, wide-brimmed, not really a cowboy hat, more of like just a big hat with a little gold thing around the top part.
Wow, this sounds very different from your current getup, which appears to be a frog of sorts.
Yes, I will be tying the frog to my belt, and I also need my nice red cloak here dyed black.
Wow, is this a goth phase or has someone died?
No, I need to think more.
I'm not sure how dyeing your scarf black will help with that, but I'm happy to see to your needs. Now let's see. Do you want to maybe drop a design of the hat you have in mind?
Yes.
Or...
Let me paste it in our Discord channel for you.
Excellent, thank you.
Wow. Reskinning, if you will, of Poopers.
Right. Oh yes, more of like a nice sort of upscale traveler's hat. It would be nice. Keeps the sun out of your eyes, makes you look a little bit intimidating, maybe a little bit, like you know what you're doing. Yes, I can whip something up like this, and he takes the scarf cloak.
You need room for the ears. They need to come through.
Oh yes, I just cut some holes here and here, sure. And then the scarf, and he looks at that. Exactly. He looks at that and says, okay, for these two items, I'm thinking maybe 1,200 gold, and Trixie's in the back, like, face palming.
Why don't I barter here and you go work on it because I know you're excellent at it.
Oh, well, I mean, they say that flattery will get you anywhere, but in my shop it always does. And he takes the design in the scarf and hurries in the back room, and Trixie walks up to you and says, that was absurd. Sorry.
Yes, I don't have a whole lot of money right now. How much will these cost?
I mean, they're pretty simple pieces, maybe like, the dyes are kind of expensive, maybe like 150 total?
Sure, that works for me. I pass over the gold.
Okay. A few hours later, I'll have your stuff ready, and you can come back and get them if you like.
So Poofers will now be wearing that hat instead of her frog hat. She has not parted with her frog hat. It remains tied at her belt for use whenever she sees fit. And her cloak, instead of being red, is now black.
Since I was there and just saw
Your
this,
belt.
I'm curious, Poofers, why the semi-dramatic change?
We've been coming across a lot of stuff lately, and some of the best thinkers that I know dress like this. So I figured maybe if I dress like this, I'll be a good thinker too.
Anyone that we know?
No, nobody that you know, but probably somebody you've heard me talk about.
Gotcha. And then I started sipping beer.
Okay. True to the name. Does anyone else have any other shopping they want to do? Magnus, do you want to do your jeweler stuff?
Yeah, I actually try to. Maybe I'll just slip out while they head to the tailor.
Okay. The jewelry shop is actually very close. It is just about across the plaza there. It is run by I think you guys have been here before, maybe.
Yeah.
It is run by a pair of identical twin half-elves who've got like orangey hair, and they dress in like loose flowing robes. And they, in unison, welcome you to the store and say, "Welcome, welcome, oh customer. What can we do for you today?"
Hey, how you doing? So, I kind of have a specific request as I'm looking through all this stuff. I see you have a lot of really nice gems here, and I would like to get, and I pull out, I have 150 gold worth of fancy gems, I was told, because I kept them as gems.
Oh yeah, you got this like a year ago.
Yeah, we got it forever ago. And I put them on the table. I think you told me they were 25 gold each, so 6 of them. And I put them on the table, and I'm like, I want, if it's possible, to make coins out of these gems.
Coins like carve down the gems
Like,
into circles, or like
Circle round, but I want a image or lettering or something, whatever you can do onto these.
Sure, we're both skilled jewel crafters. What did you have in mind?
So on each of these gems, I don't know, I kind of want to do color just for aesthetic, but that would also be like a diamond. I'm sure is worth way more than whatever. But anyway, so I'd like these cut down to basically, coin size, and on each of these coins, I have specific letters I want written on one. M, like an M, a P, a T, an A, and a B.
Sure, we can do that. No problem.
And as payment, you can keep because they're going to be significantly shaved down. You can keep the excess of the gem.
And they look at each other and seem to debate this for a little bit. And they're like, "We haven't had some business in a while. I think that's a fair enough exchange."
And then on the last one, I want you to just keep it blank.
Sure. This will take them a couple days to finish.
That's fine.
And I assume you want them like with their according colors, so yours is red.
Right.
So that would be orange for Poofers, purple for Aravir, green for Troy, blue for Biren, and then the last one.
Last one, I mean, diamonds are clear, but it could be clear without it being a diamond.
Let's make it like an onyx,
Like
maybe for
Onyx
black.
or quartz even, whatever.
Okay. Do you want it clear? Do you want it white or do you want it black?
I want it like clear, like white.
Okay. So, well, it's not a diamond. It's like a cheaper. There
Right.
are cheaper clear gems. I'm not a gemologist, so I don't know. Cool. Yeah, that's a fun idea. You can get those in a few days then.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Next on the agenda, anyone?
I'm good.
I would like to mail a letter, but I will type that to you in Discord.
Okay. Well, if no one has anything else they want to do during the session, we might end early today, but we'll see how much discussion you need for what's to come. At the end of your week of downtime, God, I have so many tabs open. Someone said help. Okay, at the end of your downtime, Victoria summons you back to her office and will present you with the next mission. Welcome back, everyone. After some further contemplation and consideration, I have decided to ask you to go investigate the claims that you've made about a potential artifact in Sethos. There is a chain of what is now established as a chain with the newest reports of villages that have been taken over in very similar ways, moving south as they've progressed. They started really in the north of Sethos and have moved south towards Dis along various routes, not really following like one path down, but they have progressively gone south. So we do fear that they are approaching, or whatever it is approaching the city. If you could try and cut it off, again, I'm not really sure what it is. That would be really ideal. Again, we don't really know what to expect, but it seems like a really good lead.
I think we can probably set out that way and see what we find. I don't know how long it will take.
Well, as always, the faster the better, and we don't want another venomous root situation in a slightly more populated area.
Why don't, talking it out, the idea, if you want us to go to Sethos in that general area, why don't we work, if it's moving south, why don't we work south to north? And we go to like Diz or that area, that forest just west of it, and we'll work north.
I think that's an excellent idea. Dis is one of the largest cities on the continent. It's also our research headquarters. There are lots of very talented researchers there, including Dr. Toledel. She leads our actual research sort of effort. And so I'm sure you'd be welcome in the city if you choose to start there and move north, or however you want to. Again, we don't really have a solid, this is where it will be, but we have seen a sort of trend of mysterious occurrences moving down throughout Sethos.
Is Dis where my contact is? I think it is, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah. Then why don't we head to Diz when we're all ready, and we'll work north and let you know.
All right, I will take note of that. Do you have any other questions or anything before you head out?
These cities that are getting destroyed, you've heard reports that they are getting destroyed. Have you heard anything else about it?
They're villages more than cities. More like villages, small towns maybe. In every case, it seems that the structure, there's been absolutely no sign of battle. Mostly wardens have been passing through in their searches and have basically arrived at villages where everyone seems to have just passed away, maybe from illness, but they all seem to be in their beds, peacefully asleep, and just never woke up.
I wonder, I gotta think and recall if we've seen that before.
Well, you told me you did last time, so I would hope.
Right.
Yeah. Alright, well, in that case, best of luck. Make sure to keep me updated on what's going on. Hopefully something comes of this. That would be great. Especially considering the tear is now larger than it was when it first appeared. So, it's not promising.
Is there, before we go, have you guys have any other leads on any other artifacts, or just the one that we talked about?
It's an excellent question. Let me check my notes. We have had sort of flares up of mysterious events that seem to be moving throughout the continent. It's really hard to track. They're not really consistent yet. Quite a few interesting events going on in Vicentia, specifically the capital. The tensions seem to be very high there, and so I wouldn't be all that surprised if there was an appearance of something there. Besides that, the eastern side of the continent has also had, like I said, flare-ups of anomalies. Maybe there's something there, but we don't have any specifics yet.
Okay. And we're still down 5?
We are down. With the addition of yours, we have 4. So yes.
Okay. All right.
So as you guys leave the office, Poofers, your sword glows a fiery red.
Guys, remember how I was talking to you about that signal for help? Please come rescue me.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah, we need to go rescue her, and that means going into the Imperium.
We don't have to rescue her.
We don't have to, but I'd feel really bad if she died. Dante also needs help tracking down an archdemon, or not Dante, Karma needs help tracking down an archdemon. And we have the artifact to acquire, so what the heck are we gonna do?
And where exactly were we kind of thinking Karma was?
I have to write him a letter and see where the heck he's at. I don't know.
So we're not even sure.
I will give you that information now. He is somewhere in the Sanctuary of Woods on the border of Gilead and Sethos.
Got it.
So he's down
First
in the
area.
artifact. Okay.
So he's on the way to the artifact. But
So we can hit Karma and artifact, or we can go rescue Callie.
here's the problem is they're in opposite directions, and we gotta, if we do the Imperium and go help Callie, which I'm
Yeah,
sure she
my
needs some
contact
help.
may have also mentioned that the Imperium might be doing something with sacrificing or absorbing mortality, kind of on a big scale. So that might also be an issue.
Well, if we're gonna do that, we're gonna have to lean pretty heavy on Chloe there too, if she
Yeah.
gets kicked out of there. And
You have another contact that might be able to get you in.
Haha,
Yep.
drug man.
Yep, the eel.
we do have that. I
Yeah,
do have his
yeah.
heroin.
Very.
I would very
inherent.
much like to talk to the eel again. For no specific reason whatsoever. It has nothing to do with power altering drugs that make you feel incredible.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You guys got any more of those potions?
Out of the kindness of my own heart, one of these quests is more time pressing than the other two. You will
One
have
of versus one of
Is
as
the world
in
ending?
Karma's quest. Won't forever be on the trail, but he is doing a good job tracking right now. You have some time with him. The threat in Sethos is still wandering about a bit. You have some time there.
sounds like we should go to Callie.
Callie's gonna die.
Callie will die, and the Imperium will destroy the Earth. So we may want.
Seems destroying the Earth kind of seems to be the trend right now. So
Yeah, get in line.
yeah,
So
But-
does that mean that do we go like Imperium, Forest, Sethos? We just like go
Also,
Red
do
Cliff,
we-
boop,
Like
boop,
it.
boop.
What's going to be our excuse to the wardens for taking extra long?
It took longer
Uh,
than we thought it was going to take.
I
We
mean,
got
hell,
pulled
it took us
into another dimension.
it took us a month just to get back here, so I don't think we're too worried about time frames.
We could tell them that somebody besides Troy decided to grab the map and take the lead.
We
got
got very
We-
lost.
We somehow ended up all the way over in the northeast. I don't know
Oh.
how it happened, but we did.
How about this? I have some thoughts on rescuing Callie and how that can go. And by the way, I assume we're like,
You would have left the office. You're
yeah,
on
I
your
assume
own.
we're like kind of on our own right now.
Yeah.
I would hope.
And talking about that, they have crazy anti-magic stuff, right? That we've heard. I mean, we know the rumors about it, about they can sense magic, shut down magic, all those kind of things. But I'm sure we have some, not only the eel, but some other contacts with my fellows, and of course our great relationship with Saul. that we can go talk to, because we do have, and if you remember, and I pull out the Waterdeep, I do have some Waterdeep badges that we can do, and whether they can check or not, I do have this, and I turn into a perfect human, and I could be a really cool paladin.
Is that a magic disguise?
I don't know. It's this really cool circlet that lets me turn into that. I don't know if that counts as magic.
Yes, it's magic.
Yeah, we're probably gonna need to talk to the eels. Maybe he has something that'll let that work though.
Right, because
Like we can't have you walking in there with horns on your head, or the giant furry blue man. What I mean,
I can make them smaller.
small furry man.
I mean, I
a
can
pet.
reduce myself by 3 feet.
Well, I mean, we do have a couple elves, and if I can be a human, we could carry 2 pets with us.
It sounds like we're gonna have to do a lot of smuggling.
So
We should go talk to the underworld
you're
about
telling
that.
me
Yeah.
it's my turn.
I do have some chalk to take us to the underworld.
I mean,
Yes, that chalk though will also be very useful if one of us dies.
Right. The what were they, like Grim Reapers? were they
They're
called?
in Tartarus as the champion and founder of the tournament that people fought to the death in. They were employees of a god of death, and they were supervised by a reaper.
That's right.
and that being said, going there, just foreshadowing here and thinking out loud, we can definitely get the distraction away from us if we can make some of their other paladins or people cast magic without them knowing they're going to cast magic. I.e., if we go get some potions, slip it in some drinks, those kind of things. Just saying, we have options.
Have another magenta potion.
So I do not. I do have some good heroin. I don't know how magical that's going to make them appear, but they'll feel magical. But my point is we can head back to the potion shop too, and I remember reading in that menu, growth potions and potions of fire breath and just silly things that maybe we can have them do to take away the attention of us. Just thinking out loud.
Subterfuge. Yeah.
So,
Apparently, we're gonna have to get really sneaky.
They're
it sounds
also
like
gonna have to do some research on how good their security is. Like you know that the Imperium hates and hunts magic, but you know little else about them.
And would Redcliffe have that information in their libraries and stuff?
They would have base information, but a lot of it is kept under wraps. That is it.
So we're gonna have to lean pretty heavy.
You can ask someone who has first-hand knowledge of it. You can rely on the information of smugglers.
Everyone slowly turns to our
To
6th
Cleo.
member of the group. Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Hey guys.
You know that place that you probably don't want to go back to?
Yeah,
we're
the
gonna
one
go
that I
back
don't
there.
really want to talk about either.
Yeah, it's gonna
Any
be awesome.
heavy feelings of vengeance or a desire to generally infiltrate the place that you were not wanting to talk about?
Can't say that I would like to go back. What with the execution upon return. and
What if it
everything.
meant rescuing somebody?
You can sit in the cart.
Fine. I mean,
Rescuing who?
you can be a little afraid and cower out.
It's a basic matter of survival, Magnus. You have no idea what they do there.
I would like to take Cleo
Give me an example
aside
of what they do.
and tell her, a very high level story of Callie and what the Imperium might be doing.
Do you tell her what Callie is?
I tell her she's unique.
Okay. So you have an alchemist friend who has gone to the Imperium and now has requested help from you.
I have a friend who may have been coerced into helping the Imperium suck away mortality from people, which sounds like a pretty evil thing to do. And if you're into crushing evil people, boy, is there a whole well of it there for you.
I never did know what went on in the seminary. You're saying they are extracting mortality from people.
That is the small sprinkling of information that I have, but the main priority for us is to rescue our friend Callie, and I assume that we will discover whatever is going on in the process.
Are we sure this is not a trap?
No.
Good question.
Because, I mean, why would she go there voluntarily, knowing what they
So
are?
I will say that, and I shuffle everybody out away from Cleo now. Look, the person who went with her to protect her is Cross. Cross doesn't lie. I trust him with my life. He saved me and he saved many. And also killed a few. But anyway, I trust him, and he said that she willingly went. He
So
wouldn't have let them take her.
Commissioner Gordon sent off the bat signal. Got it.
Cross is the one who provided her with the way to contact me.
I mean, I guess it could be she willingly went because otherwise they would have killed her.
Don't I?
I don't think that he would have let that happen. It seemed from what he told me that she intentionally, knowingly, without, she just left with them.
That
When-
doesn't make sense to me why she would do that.
When we were in the underground, there was some shady stuff going on. I'm having a hard time remembering right now. But basically, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, DM, she was forcibly coerced to go there because of her past, right?
She was doing so. To recap everything, Callie is a homunculus who was created by a alchemist who was doing research on mortality and immortality. He ended up dying, from what you don't know. And she took over his research for a while before basically deciding it was too dangerous and burying it and just pursuing her own life. She, as a homunculus, has a phylactery that she normally keeps around her neck on a choker. But when you guys went to the Underdark and you were approached in Tartarus by the Eos Imperium missionaries, Viren was the only one there, I believe. She essentially was traded for Viren's survival because she has knowledge on that sort of research, and they knew that.
That's right.
She was-
What did we trade for? There was
They
something.
dis-
It was a difficult choice.
They disabled a warlock who would have obliterated you.
Oh, that's right.
X or whatever his name is.
Yeah. So
she
it's
was-
kind of my fault.
So she was then traded in. She was at her normal lab doing research for them. And her letters in the past have basically said she was, keeping up the sort of appearance of doing that, but giving them some false information where she felt it was safe. And now with this newer information, she has willingly left to the Imperium without being under the influence of magic. Yeah.
Yeah, we need.
That
to-
makes more
we need to
sense.
go. There's no two ways around it.
I'd like to note that a lot of my actions turn out really bad.
We just make a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah.
Almost like we should listen to somebody
The
else.
story of Biren, a tragedy.
All right. Well, I think we're all in agreement. We need to go rescue Callie. But I think we are also all in agreement that we need to do some research about it. Granted, it's a little time pressing, so we're gonna have to get on this. Probably sending, Erebir and probably Erebir and Baron down to the library to learn something and read what we can, and then Troy, here's a cube. Play with that, and and then maybe we can, if Cleo, if you're in, learning what we can learn on the Imperium.
I mean, do I have to go?
It would be very helpful.
You realize that if they recognize me, I will be killed immediately, as will probably all of you.
I mean, if they
I think-
recognize any of us, I think we're toast.
And that's pretty much, par for the course on every mission.
Is there something that we can do to, for a lack of a better term, clear your name or get the noose off of your neck while we're there?
Do you really want to?
I mean, certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Before you rush in to save your friend, who, don't get me wrong, sounds like a really nice person and everything,
Here comes the coward.
let me just paint a picture for you about what you'll be encountering. Every one of you has, except for Troy, she pats Troy on the shoulder, has some semblance
On the
of
head.
magical ability. And all of you use some sort of
Jerks.
magical item. Now, you might notice that I too use magic, but that is derived from a holy oath made to our god, the author. Only 2 types of magic are considered legal within the Eos Imperium. That of witch hunters, such as myself, and that of clerics devoted to our god.
Witch
Okay,
hunter.
So hold on. So a cleric that's devoted to a god that starts with the initial A. I mean, if you can rep an A and do cleric stuff, it sounds like a pretty easy sell.
Well, maybe if you weren't a 10-foot tall Furbolg, which are
Hear
not
that?
native to the land.
Hear that? Disrespectful to you.
Anyways, smuggling any sort of... No, there is plenty of smuggling that goes on. We were all aware of it, but usually it was in our favor. In terms of magic hunting, it's quite difficult to get by. Not only do you have observant witch hunters all over the place, such as myself, which are trained to essentially sniff out magic, and are aided in doing so by our divine gifts, but we also have hounds that can sniff out magic. My point is,
You have a bear.
that's great. I'm so glad for you on that. I'm sure it was the only friend you could make.
It was Troy's bear.
Exactly. See? Now, there are other ways of getting access to the seminary, which I assume is where your friend is being held. They aren't ideal. Of course, having yourself arrested is always one way, but there are a number of smugglers who know how to get in and out of at least the city. It's more a matter of how to disguise yourself once you're within. Even being in possession of magical abilities is extremely dangerous. If you use any, you will be found almost immediately.
Is there a way to tell that our magic is not this holy magic that you claim to have?
Claim. You know what? I'm never healing you again, specifically.
Oh, I'm saying holy from your god, not that you have magic.
Yes, it is a divine magic. It is pretty obviously. It's got its own signature. If you don't use magic while you're within the walls of the city, really within the Eos Imperium at all, it's likely that you could, with proper evasion, get by without being noticed. If you cast at all, it will probably be sniffed out by someone. If you use any magical items, probably found.
Including potions?
Yes. Especially, there are also, excluding smuggling options, border checks where they will assess your entire inventory. But having the appearance of an exotic creature, Tabaxi would really be pushing it. Sort of the limits of our tolerance there.
So, I don't know a lot about smuggling, but what I do know You said if you're good at smuggling, people in charge don't know about you. I wonder if our friend has some kind of secrets that you might not know about.
Oh, I got secrets.
That is a very real possibility, but I will also say that, while it is not officially sanctioned, a lot of the smuggling of lyrium is known by officials.
Well,
So
we're just gonna have to do some research on it because I'm not gonna abandon Callie to a horrible death.
all I'm hearing is we just need money, because that's that's the easy, dumb way to be able to smuggle things,
And that's
and especially if the leaders and all this stuff already know of the smuggling from what you're telling us, and they get by
No,
because
the leaders don't.
well,
More the
the-
grunts.
right, and they need something to grease their palms. Not that I've ever done any of this kind of stuff, but usually money or something that they need solves a lot of that problem. What is something when I have two questions. One, why did you get kicked out? And two, when you left and escaped and knowing about the smuggling, what do they usually give away? Like what do you need in Imperium that you in the Imperium that you can't get that everybody wants?
Witch hunters are so effective in their operation due to an enhancement substance which is most commonly found within the dwarven mines, as well as some of the newer mines popping up in the Nameless Shores. It is not
where
easily available within the Eos Imperium.
where are those dwarven mines at?
They are over at Elderstone Peak.
God, we should have been to the dwarf thing.
Elderstone Peak. Okay. I just
Now,
Anyway,
I stepped backwards. I'm just like, that's all I needed to know.
we rely heavily on those substances, and often the rations provided are not to our taste. As for why I left the Imperium, I'm just a very good person, and they didn't like that.
okay. So
Also, I didn't escape, I was escorted out with threat of death.
so they're way stronger than you.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So the best thing is to get this enhancement medicine, if you will. And
It's a highly sought after substance. It's not really a matter of walking into a mine and picking some off the walls.
And Buren starts to erase that note. Well, I will definitely send out a note to the eel, specifically, only to get in there. No other reason else. And maybe it's not a crazy idea, Magnus, to hit up some of your friends.
yeah, I think Yepanu, do you know more about this this enhancement drug? What it looks like? Does it smell? Does it? Not that you've
What was
ever
it again?
taken this or what I would have, but can we fake it? Is my question.
You guys
Can we
know that I
get
took the
something
drug,
that
by
makes
the
it
way.
look like this?
You guys
Yes.
know that I took the drug.
Yes.
Isn't the drug like crystals? Something like that, right?
Yeah, they're little blue crystals.
Yeah.
They are extremely addictive.
Right.
And
And they give a wicked hangover.
they have a pretty immediate effect. So, like, if you provided some to someone and they like tasted it or something, they would know almost right away that it's fake.
So here's my thought, because if we can get, I really think we can fake this. It might take some doing, but if we get these crystals right and come up with one, I have some really, really good heroin, and then two, I bet we can get some of the potions of whatever we want to douse him with, and fake this thing, I bet we could pull this off.
Are you proposing that we use them on guards, like do a switcheroo on them or something?
Yeah, well, not necessarily, giving him and trying to find all this, like, where, yes, we could probably get some from the eel or whoever we need, but it's going to be a huge pain. I don't think it would be a bad idea to also have a few different vials of this quote-unquote strong or super strong drug.
What was the drug called
If we
again,
can-
DM?
Called lyrium, but it is. A lot of people have tried to slip that by. It's not. You're welcome to try, but I honestly can't recommend trying to fake lyrium. It is an extremely unique substance.
Well, just a thought.
I have no doubt that the smugglers you work with are in and out of the city quite frequently and will have found some sort of loophole to our systems.
So you're telling it's possible and that you're in.
I'd really rather not go back. If you have someone else you can take, it's more like, if this is the only way I get to stick around to kill an archdemon, then...
Not the only way, but you definitely have a better chance of dealing with an archdemon with us around.
Tempe in the background, just frowning.
I forgot about Tempe.
He's playing a lonely violin song.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with Tempe is he's straight magic.
Yeah, that's also
So-
true.
Yeah.
We can't take Tempe.
Sad
as,
Tempe
like,
noises.
Now you hear the wah, wah, wah. But
It's raining on Tempe somewhere in an alley.
so since we have, you win by default, which, hey, thumbs up. But our issue is the town, the castle, the area. We can't find somebody better. And you're gonna be one of those people that's, as much as I like you, somebody that's gonna have to stick around a little bit, and help us through these.
Are you sure that this person is worth the risk you're willing to take?
100%.
Yeah, you like her.
You'll love her.
Probably.
Somehow, I doubt that. Alright, you guys have made a decision to go to the Eos Imperium. Big spooky, it's been sitting there in the middle of the continent since we started this game. You knew you'd have to go eventually. No one else asked about the mortality sucking bit that Boofers put forward, which was interesting in my book, but,
Wait,
you
what
do
part?
you.
Well, to be fair, I don't have much more information than there is some sucking of mortality going on.
Yeah, it was just fun, because I felt like that was the big bit, and everyone's like, oh yeah, of course.
Well, we knew they were evil, so, Not only...
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we knew they were up to that.
There
kinda
is,
stuff.
there's
No good.
inklings. Yeah.
Started making
I think-
trouble in my continent.
No, like when we were intermingling with them,
They were
I felt
mentioning
like that was-
something.
yeah, so I feel like that wasn't brand new news to us.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a slightly more specific, but I think we kind of had an idea.
We
Also,
knew it was something pretty
we're-
nefarious.
We're also gonna have to come up with some pretty impressive things for Barry and Erebir, besides them just being a tag along. Because
You mean Poofers?
no, I mean Barry and Erebir, because Erebir, like, as super fancy as you are, take away your super cool magic, and besides you stabbing with your cute little dagger, you're gonna have to stand in the background. And you hit hard, and it's very impressive when you shoot crazy magic-y lightning stuff out of your fingers, but I don't think you're gonna get to do that.
It's gonna be like when we were doing our stealth mission, where Troy taught a lesson in what was that?
Yeah. That was what was your name, Troy?
Like HR training.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Travis?
It quick-
Trevor.
Trevor.
It quickly
God.
turned into a anti-harassment training.
Seminar.
Exactly.
Oh
right.
God. All right.
That's all I have for tonight. You guys have your next quest decided. Of course, everything is going to shit all at once, as it is meant to. I know you appreciate that and are having fun with it. If you want, we can make this conversation happen a little bit before the end of your downtime, so you have time to do research if you want. Otherwise, you guys are basically gonna have to decide where to go.
Gonna
At this-
need to do research and write some letters and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Okay. So
I
we
gotta
will
talk
make
to-
we'll make this about halfway through your downtime, so you have some time to reach out to people.
Cool.
I don't think we're playing next week, so
We're not,
Yeah.
but we will be back. Not this Sunday, but the next one at 7 o'clock. Come watch us try and be sneaky and probably utterly fail.
Super sneaky.
Thanks, everybody that followed, subscribed. See you in 2 Sundays. Bye, guys.